study lesson number 3, indices and cube root. Let us see how the multiplication of a number by itself is expressed. Now, multiplication of a number means 2. If I want to multiply 5 times. See over here what I have done? I have written the number 2 how many times? 5 times. I have multiplied it how many times? 5 times. So this we write it as 2 raised to 5. Here 2 is base and 5 is the index. In the same way, if I want to multiply the number 5 4 times, I will write this in the short form as 5 raised to 4. This is called as the index form of multiplication. What it is called? Index form of multiplication. If A is any number and I want to multiply this A by itself, I want to multiply by itself. How many times? M times. So, how I write this in the index form? A raised to M. How to read it? We read it as A raised to the power M. This is how we express the multiplication of a number by itself. This is called as the index form. You copy down this. Students, we are now going to study laws of indices. If M and N are integers, then first law, A raised to M into A raised to N is equal to A raised to M plus N. Base is same and there is a multiplication sign between the base. In such case, we add the index. I will write one example on the board. So, example related to the first law is 7 raised to 1 into 7 raised to 2 is equal to 7 raised to 1 plus 2. According to the first law, we add the index. And when we add the index, we get 7 raised to 3. Now, how to read this 7 raised to 3? You know this 7 raised to 3, the third power of the number is also called as the cube of that number. Now, second law. A raised to M divided by A raised to N is equal to A raised to M minus N. Base is same. There is a division sign between the base. Then what we do? We subtract the index. I will write one example related to this law. 3 raised to 4 divided by 3 raised to 2 is equal to 3 raised to 4 minus 2 is equal to 3 raised to 2. Children, you know that the second power of any number is called as the square of that number. Now, the third law. A into B whole raised to M is equal to A raised to M into B raised to M. I will write one example based on this law. 5 into 7 whole raised to 2 is equal to 5 raised to 2 into 7 raised to 2. Now the fourth law. A raised to 0 is equal to 1. Any number raised to 0 will be 1. So, I am writing the example of the fourth law. 5 raised to 0 will be 1. Now, the next law over here, that is the fifth law, is A raised to minus m is equal to 1 upon A raised to m. I will write an example. 4 raised to minus 2 is equal to 1 upon 4 raised to 2. Now the next law. A raised to m whole raised to n is equal to A raised to m into n. Example I am writing on the board. 3 raised to 4 whole raised to 5 is equal to 3 raised to 4 into 5. When I solve this, I get the answer 4 5s are 20. Now, the seventh law. A upon B whole raised to m is equal to A raised to m upon B raised to m. I will write one example. 5 upon 7 whole raised to 2 is equal to 5 raised to 2 upon 7 raised to 2. Now the last law. A upon B whole raised to minus m is equal to B upon A whole raised to m. So we'll write one example. 5 upon 7 whole raised to minus 2 is equal to 7 upon 5 whole raised to 2. So these are the laws and these are the examples that we have solved. So you copy the laws also and you copy down the examples also in your book.